Greetings and welcome. It is Sachi the Seer. This is going to be a reading of just see what pops up of what message you need to hear. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you want more readings like this. Let's hop into it. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the Seven of Cups in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the Devil. So what it was telling me is Seven of Cups in reverse. You want to get out of this cloudiness. It feels like you're trying to get out of decision fatigue, trying to get out of your own head in a way. Like the Seven of Cups, right? It's like he wants all these different things. And for you, it feels like you're trying to figure out what you want to focus on. It kind of feels like you've been a bit in a daydream or in a mental fog that you want to get out. And with the Temperance in reverse, it feels like you're also having difficulty taking the temperate route. You might go to extremes of like wanting to do like a million different things, and then the next moment or the next day you want to do nothing. So it feels very hard for you to take the middle approach. And we have the Devil here, which can indicate that there can be some self-restriction that you are trying to blame on something else, right? It's like everyone says like, oh, bad happens because the devil, right? Or something like that, when really, you know, the chains are of our own making, of our own thinking, of thinking that we're either tied to something that we're really not to, thinking that we're constrained by something, thinking that we need something like an addiction or whatever it may be. So we'll definitely see what that is. We have Dragonair using Salam here. So dragon energy indicates a lot of energy that needs to be cleared, like very dense energy. So it feels like your solar plexus has been slammed. And with Dragonair, you need air element in order to clear out the solar plexus. And then with Moltres using Flying Flare, so again, we have dragon energy and phoenix type energy. So clearly some big transformations of clearing dense energy that's happening, death and rebirth type energy, and Flying Flare. So it seems like your firepower also needs this flare energy, flying energy, right? Which is also the air element. So it feels like the air element is very important here, which is your communication, your mindset, your way of thinking. And flares are kind of like an SOS, right? You send up a flare when you're stranded or stuck or you need help. So it kind of feels like you're kind of putting it out there to the universe, like SOS, like help me, I need help, I need to do this, right? Like, again, you're kind of in that devil energy of like, uh-oh, okay, I'm recognizing that the devil energy is there. Now, SOS, sending out my flare. And with Meryl here, magic shot in reverse, it feels like you know that this is not going to be a quick fix, right? There's no magical shot that's a solution. That is a brain dead way of thinking that it's just, oh, this one thing, you know, oh, I'll just take this shot and magically everything will be better. No, it does not work that way. So let's figure out what is going on with you. I really, it's been a while since I've been uploading and I want to get back to uploading, but I've just not been sure exactly what to focus on. So I'm just deciding to do readings of what wants to come out and just go from there, basically. So let me know if there are any specific type of readings that you're interested in. Let me know in the comments because I'm very open to, feedback. All right, let's see here. What's going on? All right, we have the Queen of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. So it feels like you are very, very creative. There's no doubt about it. The Queen of Wands, she is the feminine archetype of creation, of passion, of vigor, and, really... And magic, right? It's like being able to utilize your firepower to manifest or materialize your desires through your intention and your magic. So it feels like you are in that type energy, but it feels like your masculine energy is a little bit underdeveloped when it comes to taking the magic and transmuting it into pentacles, into the money. Because like, here's the queen, look, she's very serious, like muy serioso over here. And the Page of Pentacles is like literally a little boy. So it kind of feels like a little bit underdeveloped in the monetary realm or the material realm. Let's see what's the light energy that's happening here. Okay. We have dark type energy in reverse and solar plexus energy in reverse. So what it's telling me is that you're very aware of these things. Again, it's in the light. It's not in the shadow. Maybe before that was in the shadow. But it feels like you're really acknowledging that of like, oh, okay, I'm recognizing that, I don't have a good grasp on the material reality. Or it could have improvement, right? It's like my feminine energy is so much more developed than my masculine. And then with the solar plexus or electric energy coming out in reverse, it is telling me that there are some distortions in the solar plexus. It feels like your sense of self in terms of your own masculine energy is the one that is a little bit underdeveloped here. Let's see what's in the shadow. We have Corellia using disarming voice and Carbink using diamond gate. Interesting. And then these are subconscious, what's coming out in the shadow. So let's see with disarming voice. So Corellia indicates somebody else's energy, like soulmate energy. So it feels like there's soulmates that are like using their voice to disarm you in some sort of way. So part of it could be that you have connected with different soulmate relationships that have basically allowed your masculine energy to stay a little boy, if that makes sense, right? It's like the Page of Pentacles, like, yes, he has his pentacle, but he was never forced to grow up kind of thing. It's kind of like if the queen's always giving the page this money, then why would he grow up sort of thing. It says it has psychic power that enables it to distort the space around it to see into the future. Yeah, so again, it feels like your feminine energy is very, very powerful. You may even be able to see into the future. Like your psychic power seems very on point. And maybe you are psychic or you work with a psychic. And it's talking about being able to see into the future. So it seems like you know where you're headed, right? And maybe you even have soulmate relationships that know where you're headed as well. You see the success, you see the good fortune, because we have Diamond Gate here. Diamond Gate represents literally like diamond ray energy of being able to go through this gate and, have a lot of success. And it feels like, right, like pentacles, like here, there's some crystals. It's like right now, you may have your amethysts and your quartz and things like that, but you're meant to have diamonds. And it feels like, again, you're headed there, and maybe these soulmate connections are also helping you know that you're getting there. But we also have fighting energy coming out in the shadow. So it says, although the Pokemon is not especially rare, its glittering jewel draped body draws attention from people. So it's interesting because, again, it's focusing on that crystal. So it feels like that's kind of where you're at. Like maybe what you do isn't the most rare thing, right? But you're still getting the attention that you want, right? So it's talking about its jewel draped body. And even look how she is adorned, right? And then even, again, I noticed the crystals that were there as well. So it kind of feels like, you're connecting with these people and you are... again, like maybe what you're doing, other people do it too, but again, people are still attracted to you based on who you are. And let's see what's coming out in the subconscious. We have Pikachu, Thundershock, and Trainer Switch Cart. So yeah, Pikachu I always take as like fame and fortune. Like, that you are going to be famous like Pikachu. Like you can just feel that energy. And again, it feels like your soulmate relationships are feeling that as well. It says it raises its tail to check its surroundings. The tail is sometimes struck by lightning in this pose. Yeah, so you're raising your tail. So it feels like the tales that you're telling yourself are at an elevated level. You're, like, I don't want to say this. It's like in the past, you recognize that maybe you had some downtrodden beliefs or downtrodden mindsets. Okay, well now it's raised, and because even the soulmates that you're connecting with also see that same future. They're like, yeah, I know you're going to be successful. I know this. Again, there's this diamond gate it seems like let's just say it's open because I want to use my words to affirm that for you. but it's still like, again, physically, you're still in the page energy when this should be a king. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say should, it will be a king. It is the king, but the king still has some growing up to do. So we'll see exactly what needs to happen there. But it's talking about the tail being struck by lightning in this pose. So it seems like as you are, raising your tail and having, and again, that tail, that mindset, that's that air element that came out in the cleansing ceremony. Like, as you're raising your tail, you are getting struck by lightning, which is like, those aha moments, like moments of genius, and like having these epiphanies and understanding of things. And with trainer switch cart, trainer does indicate somebody else's energy, someone very specific. With switch cart, it feels like this is someone who does not want to switch the energy up. So it feels like you may have someone who, like a very one specific soulmate that has not switched up their energy. It feels like, again, of like seeing where the future is going and seeing the success. So let's see what's the issue here then. Okay, coming out stuck. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, but tell me more. Okay, and the 3 of Swords. All right. So 10 of Pentacles coming out stuck. The issue is you want this 10 of Pentacles. This is like generational wealth. This is familial wealth. So this is like having so much that it's super abundant. And, it can also represent like, yeah, having a family, but I'm really feeling community energy here. It kind of feels similar to the 10 of Cups, honestly, is the energy that I'm getting, but with tons of pentacles. So it feels like this energy is stuck. Again, it's like, it feels like the gate's open, but it's like, can't you access it? And I think the answer is here is the 3 of Swords. There's some sort of hurt or pain or heartbreak that is here. Let's see what's the light energy here. Cosmog using surprise attack. So it feels like this is a little bit of a surprise I'm hearing like someone was very careless here. The 3 of Swords usually indicates, like, it usually shows swords through a heart, which represents, actual anguish and things like that. But it looks like this one, she's like juggling the swords. This is very dangerous type energy. So it kind of feels like the heartbreak already happened, but again, there's some sort of like, I'm just hearing carelessness, like really being careless with hearts and words here. And maybe it's this person who hasn't switched their cart. But surprise attack, again, this may have been a bit of a surprise that's happening here. It says, even though its helpless, gaseous body can be blown away by the slightest breeze, it doesn't seem to care. Yeah, again, there's this aspect of like not caring or carelessness. It could have to be with like things that have happened with relatives or family. There's, again, like careless and carelessness is really what I'm feeling here. Let's see what's the shadow here. Okay, and there's that Maltrace energy coming out again, combustion and flying flare. So yeah, it feels like carelessness caused something to combust, which is why this 10 of Pentacles is stuck. Like, it's there. Like, I can feel it. It is within reach, but it's almost like the gate's open, but there's just this energetic barrier of like not being able to reach it because of some carelessness. It feels like things just sort of exploded almost with combustion here. It says, one of the legendary bird Pokemon. It is said that the appearance indicates the coming of spring. So yeah, there's like this new beginning and new birth here. And it feels like, again, this new beginning that's there is like the 10 of Pentacles, and maybe someone is being careless because it's there, and there can be some self-sabotage. Again, with flying flare, there is a little bit of SOS energy of like help. And with Altaria using speed dive, again, dragon energy and phoenix energy is coming out in the shadow, which seems, it's in the shadow of what the issue is here. And with speed dive, yeah, it feels like right as soon as it happened, things just boom, like went down, with speed. And Altaria is connected to the star Altair, which is in the constellation Aquila, which is in the Sagittarius Capricornus void, which Pluto just aligned with the star Altair on December 11th. So we've had some major Altair activations. It says on sunny days, it flies freely through the skies and blends in with the clouds. It sings in a beautiful soprano. And then we have Sigilif and Clefairy. So it's talking about being on sunny days. It flies freely through the sky and blends in with the clouds. So I feel like this dragon energy, it's like the blending in with the clouds is what's really sticking out with me. So it feels like there's some sort of, clearing of density that needs to happen, but it's in the clouds. Like it's an even Cosmog here, right? Which is the Nebula Pokemon. It feels like there is something that is camouflaged here. It's hiding. It's trying to elude being seen. And it has to do with some energetics that come through Altair, which is very interesting because Altair is a star that is associated, it's America's true Pluto return star, but it's also connected to like faulty contracts and nefarious agendas and surveillance state stuff. So it's very interesting that's coming through here. And then we have Sigilif using safeguard. So it seems like this was a protection, actually. With the Ten of Pentacles of like keeping it stuck there was actually for your own protection, because someone may have been like, again, there's this careless energy. So for example, if you're careless with XYZ, if the universe gives you this Ten of Pentacles, would you still be careless with it? I think is the protection aspect of this with Sigilif. It says the guardians of an ancient city, they use their psychic power to attack enemies that invade their territory. Interesting. So this is a protection mechanism, but I'm also feeling that there are some old energetics and old it's not even through Altair, it's through Cygnus, which Alberio is right in alignment with Altair. That has to do with the fiduciary aspects or the monetary aspects of the money system. So it feels like there's also this energy of like the old ways, like old money, trying to siphon it from people who are meant to inherit this immense wealth. And then we have Clefairy using pound. So pound, again, is money energy. So, excuse me. So, and it's also the moon Pokemon as well. So I really feel that there's some like lunar programs in the shadow as it comes to money. Like, it's both ways. Like it feels like whoever was going through this and caused it to dive was one, self-sabotaging, but it was actually in connection with some other energies that are trying to stop certain people from accessing wealth, like people who are the Queen of Wands, to have the immense Ten of Pentacles wealth. And it says, it is said that happiness will come to those who see a gathering of Clefairy dancing under a full moon. Yeah, so happiness is going to come when you are able to let this go, right? Full moons are all about unleasing, you don't want to release it, right? Because releasing means you're leasing it again. It means you're taking on that contract again, right? If you're leasing a house and you say, okay, I'm going to release this house, that doesn't mean you're leaving the house. That means you're signing the contract. So you want to let go. You want to let go. I guess let's see, what the solution is, what's being let go of. What's the solution to this so that you can pull down that Ten of Pentacles? Like, the moon in reverse. Yeah, like it feels like also to it's getting past the moon matrix, right? This feels very much like Saturn moon matrix restrictions here. And with the moon in reverse, it's like no longer moon worshiping, no longer, I'm hearing like always responding to emotions as well. Okay. Oh, and the devil in reverse. I don't know if that caught on camera, but let's see. Is there one more that wants to come out? Upright, fierce, reverse for now? No. Okay. Yeah, it feels like not being controlled by emotional triggers or artificial cycles that are even implanted. And that's also part of this old, ancient monetary siphon system that has happened, is the breeding program, well, is the breeding programs through the cycles of the moon. So for example, if you have a menses, if you notice that you're not on a 28-day cycle, congratulations, that's a good sign. We have Explode using dangerous concert. Yeah, again, there's something about, Maltrace with this combustion. Explode is very explosive, like combustible energy. And with dangerous concert, this mentioned the Sopranos and the singing and things like that. So it feels like part of it is a protection mechanism to stop you from danger. But it feels like these programs are really putting up a fight as you're breaking through. That's what it feels like. Like they are stomping their feet. They are, pushing things over, and it's almost like they're causing these tower moments to try to stop you from accessing this. But again, it's there. It's there. And it's almost kind of like this Three of Swords, this careless energy. It's almost like a push to be careless with your words, even with your mind. And that's possibly part of the mental fog and things that were happening earlier as well. Like what I'm picking up here is, for example, like if you're so close to this 10 of Pentacles because you've had this high vibe tail, you've been telling yourself this, you've been surrounding yourself with people who still have that similar mindset and are reflecting that back to you of like, yeah, success and wealth and all these things. And then maybe you go to a concert that's, thug rap or something that's talking about being in the hood or being broke or struggling, or you know what I mean? And you're singing along and affirming all of these things with your word, right? Being careless with swords. So very interesting. Let's see what it says. It says, its roar in battle shakes the ground like a tremor or like an earthquake has struck. Yeah, again, the roar. It's the words that started being used, like cause an earthquake. It really gives me this tower moment type energy here. And maybe you had an explosion yourself, and maybe, your roar, your words like really did damage. Let's see what's the light energy here. Passy Man Fling. Yeah, with fighting energy, it feels like maybe you have been connecting with, right, flings. Even though Passy Man, they usually work as a team. But it kind of feels like the people who are meant to be your teammates are just becoming flings because you're acting on your emotions. And you're being asked to, like, no longer do that. No longer fight with people. And really look for your team. Like Passy Man, like people who you can really pass things on to, and that they'll carry the ball, right? Until they pass it to the next person. It says they form groups of roughly 20 individuals. Their mutual bond is remarkable. They will never let down a comrade. Yeah, again, this is about connecting with people who have a shared goal and vision. It talks about having at least 20. So it seems like, I don't know how many soulmates you're already connected with in this way, but it seems like around 20, you know, they're literally giving the number, roughly 20 individuals, and they'll never let each other down. So again, this, like kind of what I was saying with the Ten of Pentacles, I was feeling very Ten of Cups. It felt very community related, and it feels like that's the advice here of like, okay, get your team together so that you can really do this the right way and make it happen. And with the moon in reverse, again, it's not falling into these lunar programs. You have to let the lunar program go for, you know, the Ten of Pentacles to be fully accessible. Let's see, what's the shadow here? Or I don't even want to see fully accessible because they are accessible. It's more like where you stop blocking yourself from accessing them. And then we have shaman using rally back. So shaman, some shamanic energy could really help. You know, shamanic energy is all about transmuting one energy to another, very similar to that of the phoenix. And rally back. I was hearing like holla back, girl, honestly. So it feels like some of it is changing what you're listening to as well. It says it can dissolve toxins in the air to instantly transform ruined land into a lush field of flowers. And it's the gratitude Pokemon, yeah, of having gratitude and, you know, acting with an attitude of gratitude towards everything, even the experience that you went through. And it's talking about dissolving the toxins in the air. So again, these things in the air, the thoughts, the mindset, the words, the music, or the media that you're consuming, it's time to go back, like dissolve the toxins that are there and transform that ruined land into flowers, right? What is a lush field of flowers? That's like Ten of Pentacles energy. You know, that's like it's the earth element that keeps on giving, right? And so it feels like that is really important. You can work with the Pokemon shaman to do this. And Larvesta here using flame charge. It protects itself with flame. Long years ago, people believed Larvesta had a nest on the sun. Beautiful. So it seems like you also need to charge your flame, charge your firepower, and it's talking about nesting on the sun. So it feels like really tapping into your sun energy in your natal chart and working with your sun a lot and protecting yourself with that flame, protecting yourself with the fire that never goes out. And that is the core of who you are. That's your sun energy of why you're here, the light you're meant to shine. And then with Swallow, we have Swallow Drive, Detective Pikachu Corkscrew Punch, and Fletchling Warble. So we have two bird type energies here. So again, more air element. And with Swallow Dive, it's interesting. I'm also hearing like if you feel like you're going to say something that would be more of a dive, right? Of going down rather than up, to just swallow it. You know, like don't say it, swallow it. Like don't actualize it. It feels like swallow it and imagine that energy going down to your root chakra, to the fire, and being burned and transmuted into something else. This feels like, again, the shamanic energy. Like maybe you want to say something negative, right? Or something dystopian, or, you know, put someone down or whatever. Swallow it, bring it down, transmute it, and then imagine it being transmuted into what you want. Maybe it's your vital force. Maybe it's, you know, the action that you want to take in order to do whatever you want to accomplish. And it's also interesting, I'm noticing, look at Larvesta, it's in a field of flowers, which is exactly what shaman just brought back to life, right? It says its two tail feathers are standing at attention. It's proof of good health. It soars elegantly in the sky. Yeah, two tail feathers standing at attention. So it feels like also just like keeping your attention span, right? It's talking about two tails. So it feels like there are two tails you're telling yourself, right? The elevated tail or the lower tail. And, you know, you need to start paying attention when one or the other is wanting to come up. Again, there is a protection mechanism, you know, within you that wants you to stay the same because that's safer. That's the data that you know, but you are meant to have this Ten of Pentacles. That's why it's there. And it soars elegantly in the sky. Again, you know, this is a very beautiful, elegant transition that you can make, But with Detective Pikachu, Corkscrew Punch, Corkscrew is that ascension and descension spiral. So again, that's why you need to start paying attention. Are you spiraling up or spiraling down? You know, you have to act like a detective basically to yourself. It says, he was the partner of Tim's father, Harry, who had gone missing. This Pikachu loves the dark coffee at High Hat Cafe. So the partner of Tim's father, Harry, who had gone missing. So it feels like there's also something about someone going missing, and maybe that is in the solar plexus. Maybe there was someone who, you know, you and them and your sense of selves really got entangled here. And it's talking about loving the coffee too. So it feels like kind of like if they are not around, right? If they are not around, okay, this is what it feels like. Like, yeah, maybe there's a partner, right? But if they're not around, it's okay because you have this team of 20. Right? So this is about kind of getting more into the fixed air Aquarius energy of community and group relationships rather than the one-on-one partnerships. It's interesting that it's talking about coffee as well. That could really, I mean, it's the advice. So it's potentially that coffee or enchanting your coffee can really assist you. And then we have Fletchling using Warble. It says, little friends, thanks for always helping me look so cute. It feels like also taking the time to really spend a little bit of time on your looks, right? It's not about being superficial or anything, but it's also recognizing that, you know, you should do things to your body to make you look cute to you, right? So that like when you look at yourself, you're not avoiding yourself, or when you look at yourself, you're not like, oh boy, or like, you know, just even if it's the littlest thing, like braiding your hair or putting a cute bow in it, or, you know, putting mascara on, even just to be around the house, or a lipstick, or, you know, for gentlemen, a tie or something, you know. I don't really know much about men's grooming. I guess like shaving your beard, having it look nice, doing your hair, things like that. And just kind of getting into a routine of looking cute and feeling cute can really help you here. All right. It's funny. I asked about, is there an astrological aspect to this? And it's the air element communication, which I think we got a lot here about the air. All right. And that was it. That was what wanted to come out in that deck. Let's see here. All right. I'm feeling this deck. So let's see for the lights. Some closing messages here. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah, it feels like, again, Queen of Wands, very, very creative. You are birthing things into creation, and it's just about turning this Page of Pentacles into the King of Pentacles. And again, it's like right there. These 10 of Pentacles are so close. You have one, there's 9 more on the way, okay? And dreaming a new world into being. Again, the way that you're functioning and the energy that you're embodying is very different than the rest of the world. So, and it's because a new world is coming into being, and that's why these old world programs are really putting up this fight. Okay. And I was getting that some of you have a very specific question. So if you want to just meditate on that for a second, pause if you need to, and ask that question. And I'm going to pull the angel answer to that. All right, let's see. Reconsider. Interesting. And let's get one more. Don't stop. In reverse. Interesting. Which I meant to say no reversals. So let's just try again with no reversals. Okay. Improving health, and yes. Okay. So again, there was something about health here, right? About being in good health. Oh yeah. Tails, right, are a sign of good health when they're standing at attention. So it seems like improving your health is very important, and yes, whatever it is to do that. And it feels like the yes is connected to needing to improve your health. And then we'll just do one more. We'll do a unicorn oracle to close off the reading. Again, thank you so much for joining. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and all that. All that will be in the description box. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can book that on my website as well. All that's in the description too. All right, we have Ascension Flames and look for the signs. Merge with light, ignite keys and codes. So some of you may be getting certain flame information or certain ray information is what I'm hearing. So ignite the keys and codes. So, you know, understand what these flames are, where they come from, and how to utilize them. I'm hearing some of you may be getting violet flame activations, blue ray activations, gold ray activations, and aquamarine and magenta activations. So, you know, a lot of these can be activated through various transits that are happening, but sometimes they just happen. So it seems like, again, ascension flames, like there's so many changes going on. And it seems like your ascension point is probably being stimulated. And look for the signs. We have 11 and 33 here. Pay attention and expect the answer. So look for the signs that are happening, and look even how, like, you know, a bunch of flowers, that's shaman energy. Look for the signs, you know, ask the questions and then expect the answer. So it feels like, you know, even the angel answers energy, I was really feeling that of like wanting very specific answers. And again, it felt like you put up this SOS signal, and now it's time for you to pay attention and really look for the answers of what you're asking, you know, and to continue to do this type of energy work until you fully get all the answers that you need, but still continuing to do what you're doing in the meantime. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sending you a big, big hug and a kiss on your third eye.